Hello, kings and queens, and welcome to the Queen of Hearts podcast. It is your host, Queen Leo. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a frequent listener, welcome back. Today we are diving into our theme of the month, which is Genesis. The concept of Genesis is new beginnings. And today we're going to explore pretty much how to embrace new beginnings and how to effectively and confidently step into the start of a new beginning. We also are going to discuss our book club today, and we are going to dive into the second agreement of our 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. So go ahead and get comfortable, kick back and grab your party favors, and get ready for this journey of growth and knowledge. So, if you have been following along, you do know the monthly theme for December is Genesis. And with the idea of Genesis comes the idea of new beginnings. Seeing that this is December and we are at the end of a year, I felt like December should mark the season for change, renewal, and transformation. I feel like as we go into December and ultimately into 2025, all of our new beginnings will begin to take form. And it could come in the manifestation of finances, relationships, success, pretty much anything. So today I wanted to just dive into the initial part of embracing new beginnings, which is the idea of change. And so before we dive into the concept of change, I wanted to start with a question, which is, how do you approach new beginnings in your life? Do you embrace change with open arms, or do you resist it because it feels uncomfortable or uncertain? For me, I would say that when it comes to new beginnings, I don't handle them very well. Part of me feels like that comes from my anxiety. I have a tendency when it's something that I'm not sure of or something that I'm not confident in, I do have a tendency to be a little weary of it, and it does make me uncomfortable or uncertain. I've experienced a lot of things in my life, so when it comes to certain aspects, I just don't like for it to be an uncertain thing. You know, I'm very big on knowing and expecting what's going on. And it's funny because my boyfriend, he calls me controlling, and it's like, as I explain how I like to be in the know on things, that kind of does seem controlling in a sense. But I don't necessarily want like the power or anything. I just like to be very informed, I should say, on everything that's taken place. So when it's ever something like new or something that I'm not used to, it does tend to put me in my shell. And it's something I've learned that subconsciously that I do. I never noticed it. Like whenever I'm uncomfortable or I'm uncertain or I don't quite know what to expect, I tend to get very reserved. I tend to shut down. I tend to be very quiet, and people always say it's like I'm chill, like I'm quiet, I'm chill, I'm to myself, but I'm really just like, I'm not sure how to handle a situation. I'm not sure how to approach a situation, so I tend to fade into the background and pretty much just observe the situation and kind of get my own I guess after I sit here and break it down, get my own control over the situation, and then I tend to lighten up, or I tend to be more open. I guess I can say I'm controlling. My name is Qween Leo, and I can be controlling at times. I just didn't see it like that. I always saw it like, I like to know. Like, how you with someone, or you with your friends or your family, or just anything. When it comes to any type of thing, I just like to know. I don't like to be in the dark when it comes to anything. I don't like to not know what to expect. So I try to always have my hand in it, and that can come off as controlling. But definitely comment below. How do you approach new beginnings in your life? I feel like for everyone it's different, because when it comes to new beginnings, change can be very scary. It's like I said, it's something you don't know. It's the unknown. You're walking into the unknown, and that in itself can give you reservations. But I've grown to understand in life that change is necessary. Good change, bad change, any change is necessary, because it means you're growing complacent wherever you are, and you have to take a step back and really analyze everything and decide what do you need to do to put yourself in a different spot, a different place in life. People don't understand that. It's a quote. I can't remember it. If you remember the quote, comment it below. But they say, complacency breeds something. It's a deep ass quote, but pretty much like, if you don't embrace change, you're gonna be stuck. You're gonna reach this plateau, and you're not going to grow. You're not going to be better. I feel like everyone has a glass ceiling, and they feel like, oh, this is it for me. But no, you can break through that, and you can go much, much further in life. But you do have to be able to embrace change. I feel like change goes hand in hand with like criticism. I feel like if you're able to accept criticism well, 9 times out of 10 you're able to accept change very well. And think about that. The people you know in your life that have never really like accepted change or accepted something different, do they handle criticism well? And I think criticism, like not being able to handle criticism, also goes into being complacent with yourself, because you think you're okay. But I could definitely understand the scariness behind change, but I feel like everyone needs to sit back and understand, like, sometimes change isn't about starting over. And I had to understand that myself with my situation. I always used to think like, oh, if I switch up, I'm starting over. I'm starting from ground zero, or I'm starting from -1 and I'm building my way back up. And sometimes change isn't about that. It's not about you breaking yourself down to bits and pieces. Sometimes it's just about transformation. Sometimes it's just about taking everything that's in you now and transforming it into a better version of yourself. I feel like as you go through life, you are met with situations, and you're met by people that may influence you to make changes in your life. And when you make these changes, I feel like it's an opportunity for you to take everything that you have within you, and then all the knowledge that you may take in from somebody or something else, and it allows you to be better, do better, and just overall succeed. Bringing up, like I said, with criticism, if you don't take criticism well, 9 times out of 10 you don't take change well, and vice versa. I feel like when it comes to change, sometimes change comes from people, sitting us down and informing us of something. And with that information, it's us taking it for what it is, dissecting it, ingesting it, and applying it. And I feel as you go through life and you apply different things that are brought to you in life, you change. You change, and you grow into a new person. And I feel like if you're meeting people and you're not taking something from them to apply to your life to be better, then one, you're not being a conducive member of society, and two, you're just there. Like you're alive, but you're not living. People fail to realize, like, we're on a planet with billions of people. Like, you have to understand that it's not just you. It's not just those 10 people in your neighborhood. It's not just those 30 people in your complex. Like, we are in a world full of different cultures, different languages, different beliefs, different systems, and you may one day meet someone that may invoke a change in you that may be for the better. Everyone's here for a reason, and their reason might be to make an impact on your life. And that's why I feel like change is necessary. It may not be something you're used to, but it's definitely necessary. And, like I said, sometimes we don't choose how we want things to change. We can't choose how things are going to maneuver, but we can embrace them. And when they are brought to us, when these chances, these opportunities, these decisions are brought to us, we are able to choose how we want to handle them. But not all change is in our control. It's just, and that's where it goes into, you have to embrace it. You have to be open for it. It may be scary. It may be something, that may give you doubts in life. But you never know where it can go. For example, with me, when it comes to like a business example, I would definitely say, like I always talk about my baby, Qween Leo merch. It was a new beginning for me. Like, yeah, I've done merch before, done stuff like that before, but it was new because, like I said, I put more energy into it. I put out stuff that I believed in. I tended to each piece. I researched, and I put a lot of man hours into perfecting each piece. And it was something different. Just the whole process of building the brand for the Black Friday launch was something different because I've never tended to it like that. I've never embraced it like that. It's always like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and I'll just throw a couple pieces out, promote them here and there, not really putting the energy back behind it. But this is the first time where it's like, no, I want to grow in my business. I want to grow in my presence. And in order to grow, I got to change. And in this moment, the change is putting more effort, putting more energy into my content, into my brand, into building it. And it was a big change, you sacrifice a lot of things, and that's what comes with change. It's a lot about sacrificing. So it's like, a lot of times I've sacrificed sleep. I've sacrificed time with my boyfriend, time with my family, time with anybody to really, put these pieces together and just build this brand and continue to grow it. And there's times where it's like, those are things I wanted to do. I wanted to be with my friends, wanted to be with my family, wanted to be with my man. But I had to stop and I had to say, no, Kanisha, because you got to go. You got to change your what's the word? You have to change your movements. You have to change your routine so you can see different results. Like they say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Like, if you want something different, if you want a certain type of life, if you want a certain type of way in your existence, you have to understand that change may come about at certain times. As far as my personal life, I feel like the biggest change was me relocating to where I'm at now. And this is the change I'm still embracing. It's difficult, I will say, just because as much as it is my life and as much as it is my path, I'm at a point in my life where I don't have much control. I don't have much control, and I don't have a plan. Let's say it like that. Because I have a plan, but like long term, like I'm still up in the air about a lot of things. And I feel like that's just me not dealing with change well. Like I said earlier, with my anxiety, I feel like it causes me to shut down. So I feel like when it goes into like half-ass plans, or if it goes into, you know, handling business, or being where I want to be, or working towards getting to where I want to be, like any of those things, since it's in the midst of this change that's so different that I'm not used to, I'm reserved, I'm uncomfortable, I'm uncertain. So I'm not able to be like, boom, this is what I want to do, boom, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Or boom, this is where I want to be in 3 months. Like, let me get on it. Like, no, I wouldn't say I'm still at the rebuilding phase, but I'm still at that. I'm still at that phase where I'm propping myself up. Like, I'm built, but I'm propping myself up. Because it's like, it's one thing to build yourself, but can you like stand on your own? And I think that's where I'm at right now. I'm at that point where can you stand on your own? And it's a crazy time. The best way to describe the time, the era that I'm at in my life, you know how people get dreads and they start like, it's usually a nigga with a fade, be like, man, I want dreads. So a nigga with a fade start growing his hair out, and then he'll have like a little hair, a little fro, then he'll start, doing a little shit where they twist it. Then he'll grow into, oh, I'm gonna get my shit braided. Oh, then he get a little hang time. Now he feeling himself. What's the next step? They get longer. Then they stop doing like the straight backs. They'll probably do like twists. They'll stop doing the designs. They'll just let the 2-string twist hang. And before you know it, they dread it up. But the thing about it, when they dread up, that initial dreading stage, not where they're fully like a full good length, but not that time where you have like a good enough bob, like that ugly stage. Like, that's where I'm at in life. I'm at the ugly stage in life as far as building me. I'm in the middle. Like, before, where I was before was not good, but it was alright. Where I'm at, or where I'm going, is gonna be great. But before I get to where I'm at great, I'm in that gray area, that ugly phase where it's just not cute, but it's just not there yet. So I feel like since I'm still in that phase, I tend to shut off, just because I don't handle change well, because I don't approach new beginnings well. So it's like, for some people this is a dream, like you get a fresh start, but for me it's like, ooh, I don't know what I'm doing. Ooh, what's the next step? Ooh, what do I want to do? How do I want to do it? Like, and I'm such an indecisive person, so this is such a weird time for me to be in, because with me and my indecisiveness, I'm never able to like pick a fucking side. You can ask my boyfriend, it's always, what do you want to eat? And I'm always like, I don't know, because I'm just so indecisive. Like, I'm so indecisive, but I come from not having the majority vote, so I just come from accepting. So for me to now be in a spot where it's no more accepting, I get to make the decisions, crazy, because I'm just not used to it, And I feel like that's the biggest challenge when it comes to change, is because with that sense of uncertainty, you're not used to it, so you just don't know how to handle things, and you just don't handle them well, because you're all over the place. Like, I'll divulge now. Like, I was telling my boyfriend, I'm at that weird space in my life where I'm realizing what I don't like. Like, I knew me. And then, like, as I grew older, I discovered what I don't and do like in men. So now I have a kind of grasp on that as far as relationships, when it comes to what I accept, what I don't accept, what I expect, what I don't expect. Feel me? Now, when it comes into living in my truth myself, that's where we're new at. And when it comes to moments where I have to make decisions for myself, I get very indecisive because I'm not used to making them. And now that I'm in this era, and that's something I want to work on in 2025, is being less indecisive, more decisive. I guess is how you would say that. Being more decisive, And then I want to work on just being able to plan life. Like not being uncertain of what I want to do and freezing because I don't know what choice to make. Like I want to be able to be like, okay, boom. I want to do this. I'm going to do it this way. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I want to do this. I don't know how to do it. I'm going to research it and I'm going to do it this way. Boom, 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 boom. So that's my goal. Because it's tough. New beginnings, they come and then it may be something you've never witnessed before. It may be something you've never experienced before. So you don't know how it's going to turn out. But I've learned, and it's funny because I've seen like Medea movies and shit like that where they say this quote and I see it and I'm like, But now like I feel it. And it's like when, pressure busts pipes or make diamonds, pretty much. So when you in that tough spot, you can either barbecue or you can mildew. So it's like, I feel like when it comes to change, you have to just really stand on it. I know it's something you don't know. I know it's something you're scared of. You just got to stand on it. You just got to wake up one day and be like, I'm standing on it. Because when you stand on it, I'm telling you, the blessings that come from it, when you embrace it, they come back tenfold. And you be like, oh my God, why didn't I do this earlier? My ex, I grew a level of dependency. And I thought that was going to be it years ago. But as I got older, like I said, I grew to find what I liked in men. I grew to have a type. And I grew to understand what I wanted. And our relationship wasn't that. And I met my boyfriend and I was nervous. And I remember I told him this early on in our relationship when we were talking. I said, when I talk to you, I get the vibe that you are going to be the purest and the realest love I've ever experienced. Like, some people say he was the most passionate love I've ever experienced or the most nurturing love. Like, this man is the most passionate and the most honest, the most real and passionate, pretty much. Like, because he's not going to lie to me. He doesn't judge me. And he embraces me, flaws and all. And something I'm not used to, but it's something that I want, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, do I want to, step out on faith, get to know this man, potentially fall in love and be with him? Or do I want to stick to the status quo and be unhappy for the rest of my life? And I really had to sit into that moment. And that was my challenge of change. It was God saying, girl, I'm putting this in front of you. Know what you're going to do. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. So I understand, like, I met him for a reason and I have to embrace it. I tell him all the time, and he even asks me, he's like, if I didn't meet you the way I met you, if I didn't meet you the way I met you, would I have ever met you? And I think back on it and I'd be like, yeah, because I was always supposed to meet him. I just delayed it because life didn't go how I wanted it to go when I initially moved to Georgia, but I was always going to end up meeting him. And so it was things like that when I sit and I analyze and I think about it and I'm like, yeah, I gotta make this decision. And I stepped out on faith, uncertainty, not knowing if he was a player, not knowing if he was lying, not knowing if he was just trying to fuck, not knowing any of it, like just really taking a chance out on love. And it turned to be everything I thought it would be, everything I dreamed of, but I had to take that step. I could have stuck to the status quo and not entertained him. And if he made his advances, let it be. But I had to really say, you know what? Don't do that. A change right now. This is your challenge to change. And you're going to change. And best decision I've made. Best decision I've made. That's why I say it's going to be some crazy things and you're not going to be quite sure. But I'm telling you, like in the moments, just go with it because that's when you find your true strength and you find what you truly can handle. You know what I mean? And I can say like I dealt with a lot in my past, but being with him, this is the strongest I've ever felt. being with him and being with a person that cares about me the way he does, it gives you a certain level of strength within you, a certain feeling of strength. And I feel very strong, you know. It's crazy because I remember there were times I felt weak, I felt low, but now it's totally different. Totally different. And it's just me embracing it. And if it is something hard, like if change is something really, really hard for you to really take in, a few steps to help you with that would be, you have to be able to shift your mindset. You know, like I said, I was so used to niggas doing me dirty. Like I said, I'm wondering if he gonna play me. I'm wondering if he gonna cheat. I'm wondering if he lying, if he capping. I'm worried about all these failures. I wasn't thinking about, maybe this man could love me. Maybe he could take care of me. You know, maybe he love me back to health and wealth and success. I had to think about that. Like, I focused so much on the negative. What if? And it's like, no. Like, yeah, what if he hurts you? But then again, what if he don't? What if you fuck around and in 2 years you're walking down the aisle? Like, no. This is like, you can't live negatively. You can't think negatively. You can't have negative thoughts, because they're going to, just like that, they're going to fester, they're going to invade, and they're going to take over. And every time you have the moment to make a different decision, a moment to change, you're always going to think negatively. So you have to change your mindset. You have to focus on the possibilities of success. You always have to. The second tip, and it's funny because he tells me this all the time. Second tip on embracing new beginnings is to trust the process. When I first met this man, that's all he said to me: trust the process. And I always used to clown him. I play, oh my God, nigga, this ain't Philly. But I 100% get why he promotes that mindset, that mantra, trust the process, because one of his quotes is trust the process. Another one of his quotes is, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And I feel like those two go hand in hand. Just trust the process, because you might not have it now, but you may get it later. It may be a reason why you're not getting it at this time and you're going to get it at this time. I tell myself that all the time. Like, I look around and I see all these brands and all these companies and all these successful people, and I'm like, it's not my time. Why is it not my time? And it's like, I can't think like that, because it just may not be my time right now. I can't sit there and be mad and think, oh, I don't have all the answers, or I don't have all the tools, or it's not working for me. I have to trust that it's coming. I just gotta stay down till I come up. Another tip is to embrace discomfort. Sometimes when we are in difficult situations, uncomfortable situations, we tend to compartmentalize it. I always do it. If it's something I don't want to deal with, something I don't like, something I don't want to hear, I have a tendency to just cut it out. Act like it didn't happen. Act like I don't remember it. Act like I didn't see it. And it's funny because I realized it a couple months ago. I was thinking back. And I don't, like, there's certain points in my life, in my past, I don't remember. And it's not like, oh, you got to say one thing and it'll jog my memory. It's things I literally don't remember. Like big events, small events, things that matter to me, things that may have hurt me. And I don't remember any of them. But that's because I don't embrace the discomfort. Whenever something bothers me or makes me feel uncomfortable or makes me feel some type of way, I just don't deal with it. Prime example, something really bad happened a month ago. Yeah, about 5 weeks ago. Something really bad had happened in my life. And to be honest with you, I have yet to have a conversation with anyone about it. For one, it's a very emotional topic. Like, I think I'm not emotional about it, but I know, like, as soon as I get to talking about it, I get choky, I get all cracked up, and it's like, it's a very sensitive topic. So I've compartmentalized that so I don't deal with it. And I understand that in life. Like, there are certain memories in my like previous things I don't remember that I've blocked out because either it's around a traumatic experience or it was during a traumatic experience, and I don't want to handle that traumatic experience, pretty much, you know. And I feel like that's a lot of stuff that's affecting my growth, and it's a challenge when it comes to me, you know, really taking in change and being better, because I don't handle things in the moment, or I don't deal with those feelings in the moment. Like, for example, with the situation, I haven't dealt with the feelings yet, but I know it'll come to a point where I'm gonna have to, it's gonna hit me and it's gonna hurt, and I'm gonna have to deal with it. I feel like part of me feels like it's just because there's so much bad shit going on at once. I just don't even want to dive into it. But with the severity of the topic, I feel like, yeah, a conversation needs to be had. And I feel like a lot of people do that. They compartmentalize traumatic things, and in the moment they forget them. Like, through all that compartmentalizing, they forget. They've blocked that memory out so much, they forgot it. Like, there's so many things in my life I don't remember, but it's like because I block out the other shit around it. And you have to learn to deal with it. You have to learn to embrace it. You know, people feel like when you're in your comfort zone, everything's good. But when the moment you step out of your comfort zone and you're somewhere where you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel good, like your emotions are on 10, growth is on the horizon. Most people don't understand that. You know, it's going to be a little rocky. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, but growth is on the horizon. You just have to embrace it. With my situation now, sorry guys, the allergies are kicking my ass. But with my situation now, I don't embrace the discomfort, but I'm going to have to eventually. And I know that once I do, I'll be able to move forward with the future I want and the life I want with the partner I want. I feel like there's a lot of emotions that I don't deal with, and I feel like they stop me from fully stepping into that next chapter. And if you don't address and handle things, it's gonna fester, it's gonna linger, and it's gonna hold you back. If you haven't heard the song by Erykah Badu, is called Bag Lady, and pretty much the concept of the song is her saying, like, girl, you got so much drama in all these bags, it's gonna get in your way. Like, you're not gonna have room, you're not gonna have space. And that's pretty much it. If you're not addressing these situations, or if you're not handling being being uncomfortable, all it's gonna do is weigh you down, because it's stuff you need to address to get better. So I feel like definitely just embrace it, no matter how it makes you feel, because you don't know what's going to come from it. So to close out our monthly theme session, again, guys, comment below. How do you approach new beginnings? Do you dive right in, or do you tend to resist them? And then I want you to think about a recent change you've had to face and what you learned from it. Definitely comment below your answers. I would love to hear them. Definitely engage in our posts. When it comes to my monthly theme, I do have a month or a daily question. So every question, I do have like a journal entry to work on your shadow work that tends to the monthly theme. So definitely check that out on all of my Instagram platforms. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to go into our next topic, what fits so great with this one. We're going to get into Qween Leo's book club, so stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, and we are back. Today we're speaking on Qween Leo's book club, and we're getting into the second agreement of the 4 agreements. Last time we spoke on the first agreement, which was to be impeccable with your word. To be impeccable with your word pretty much means to speak positive, speak good, happy thoughts, happy words when it comes to yourself, others, and your environment. People forget to understand how powerful the tongue is, and when you speak things, you are helping manifest them in your life. So you should only speak positive things. You should only want positive things. So that was a big topic we spoke on last. Today we're getting into the second agreement, which is to not take anything personally. This to me is a very, very important agreement because it holds so much power. One of the main aspects I feel like everybody achieves is personal freedom. And I feel like one of the biggest ways to achieve personal freedom is to let go of the need for validation from others. People chase the like, they chase the comment, they chase that, just like I said, that validation from other people, and they should just be more content and more happy with how they feel about themselves. When we stop taking things personally, we stop internalizing other people's opinions, their judgments, their behaviors, and this creates, I feel like for people, when you let go of caring about other people's opinions, it creates a sense of peace within yourself. And like I said, it's that personal freedom, that emotional freedom, because you're not relying on someone else to dictate and tell you how you feel or how you look or what you should do. Like, you do everything on your own. And to have that inner peace to where you can you depend on yourself and you got you, it's a great feeling. And one of the biggest ways to achieve that is to not care about how other people think. When you're immune to people's opinions, you don't even have to deal with like the pain that goes with it, because when you care about how people think, feel, speak about you, you find yourself constantly like, oh, am I good enough? Oh, am I good enough? You constantly find yourself in like a trial and error process. And it's just like you trying to be better. And it's this constant battle within yourself. And when you stop caring about other people's opinions, you don't have that battle. You don't have to suffer and put yourself through the ringer to try to be this perfect person for someone. You gotta be the perfect person for yourself. Another thing when it comes to not taking things personally is just when you speak it on people and they speak ill of you. Just like the random shit like that, you can't take that to personally. You can't take it to heart. Because I feel like when people say negative things about you and you take it to heart and you react and you give them that energy, it's because deep down inside you feel that way about yourself. You feel, I wouldn't say insecure, but you feel a way about yourself. And they are deflecting their energy on you, and you insecure with yourself. You're taking it. And you're taking in that negative energy, and it goes back to being impeccable with your word. You take in negative energy from someone else, it comes out in your wordplay. Now, before you know it, it's manifesting your whole life. This thing that you're not. But it's all because you believed it, because you took it in and you said, oh, they're talking about me. Oh, they mean me. Like, no. You can't beat yourself up like that. It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. After a while, you have to preach the want and the I don't want to say the importance, but it's really the importance of personal importance. The aspect of personal importance is, it's the maximum expression of selfishness. And sometimes you have to be selfish. And when it comes to your mental, when it comes to how you feel about yourself, when it comes to what you will allow in your mind to motivate your moves, you have to have a level of selfishness. When it comes to your interaction with others, that's when you have your selflessness. But as far as it comes to like your mental health, no, you have to be selfish, and you have to be picky with what you allow to be a part of your energy. Because one thing that the chapter really spoke on was when people speak ill about you, usually they're deflecting something within themselves. And it's never really has anything to do with you. It's just really them feeling some type of way about themselves, and they just project it on you. And then let's say you're a person that might feel some type of way about yourself. You're going to take it in, you're going to digest it, and it's going to consume you. You can't allow that. You can't allow people to have that power over you. Like people say and rap about, you can't let people live rent free in your head. And one thing that this disagreement really speaks on is when you take their comments and you take them personally, you're taking their emotional baggage, you're taking their pain, you're taking their hurt, and it's not healthy. It doesn't help you grow as a person if you just fall into this hole because you allow someone to talk down about you, because that's just something they're putting out in the air. A good example, I've always been a person when it comes to friends, when it comes to just interacting with people on a friend level, like people fuck with me. Like everywhere I go, I always will meet a few people that be like, oh yeah, she's cool as fuck, she's bomb as fuck, she's chill as fuck. So whenever someone talks kind of like ill about me, either they had a run-in with me or they just don't like me. Just like when it comes to my physical appearance. One thing my mom has always preached to me since I was a child, when it comes to like dating and just like meeting the man of my dreams, whenever I would be down and out about a dude, whenever I feel some type of way, like a dude left me looking crazy, my mom would be like, you ain't ugly. That'd be her favorite thing to say to me. You ain't ugly. And it seems so simple, but it's her pretty much telling me like, I'm good. Like that's something I ain't never got to worry about. Like I'm straight in that department. So it's like if a person ever talking crazy about me, like on that type of time, you feel some type of way about me. Like I've grown to understand that like some people gonna spew negativity at you and make you try to feel down about yourself because they not happy. And in this particular case, it was a girl who didn't like me and was trying to spew negative things on my name, trying to make me feel some type of way, and I wouldn't bite. I wouldn't go for it. And what she wanted was for me to take it, for me to go back and forth with her, for me to sit there and try to defend myself. And then after defend myself, feel like maybe that is me. When it's really like she's deflecting her insecurities on me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel this way about me. Prior to you saying it to me, I didn't feel this way about me. So it's like, if you telling me this, it's because this is how you feel about yourself. You know, like you're, and then that was the crazy thing. The girl don't even know me. Like this girl that had all this stuff to say about me don't even really know me. Like you don't know me. So for you to say anything about my character, about who I am, about my personality, about my energy, about my level, you have no clue who I am. You know? Please do not let the look fool you. Like people let the look fool them. Like don't get it twisted. I'm about all that action. I look like a bitch. I can be a bitch. I can be word to Shawnee. I can be that bitch. But I'm such a sweetheart. I'm such a nice person. So it's like whenever someone's speaking negatively or saying crazy things about me, I don't take it personally. I don't let it take over, dictate my life, do any of those things because I know it has nothing to do with me. I know it's not me. You know what I mean? If I had a need to want to be accepted or validated by people, I would feel some type of way about it, but I don't have that. So when people say things like that, I just let it go because obviously you mad. That's honestly what it is. When people speak negatively about you, you should just turn around and be like, you mad. You mad because that's all it is for you to sit there and switch up whatever you're doing and decide to do your rant about me or to have your moment about me. You mad. You big mad. Word to Plies. You bit mad. So you can't let that get to you. You can't let it bother you. You can't take it personally. Just like the book says, don't take anything personally. The second agreement is all about realizing that other people's actions and their words are not a reflection of you. They're not a reflection of your worth. We tend to, when we take things personally, we do that because, like I said, we want to be validated and we want to be liked. But we have to understand as we grow that true self-worth is what matters. And to really get your worth, your self-worth, that comes from how you feel about yourself and not how other people in your world may see you. Internal validation is more important than anything because, like I say all the time, you are your biggest critic. And you shouldn't let anyone else take that title, take that place. You are your biggest critic. So you should do things that make you happy and not things that'll push someone to talk better about you. When you do things for yourself, when you do things that you want, when you do things that please you, it helps you gain a certain level of strength in yourself, a certain level of confidence in yourself, a certain level of resilience is built within yourself because now emotionally you're secure in who you are, what you can do and what you bring to the table. And there's no doubts about it. There's no what ifs or maybes or, there's none of that. When you have that validation within yourself, you know for a fact you're good and you don't have to depend on anybody else. And it's a very important thing to have. It's a very important feeling to feel. And when we allow people to have that much, like, you see how powerful it is. When you allow people to have that much power over you with their word to say something negative about you, that's not how you feel. It takes away all this from you. It drains you. It takes away your strength. It takes away your confidence. It leaves you lower than you were. So you can't feed into that energy. You can't feed into that bullshit because it'll bring you down there. And when you're secure in who you are and you're secure in your own identity, it's easier to nudge the negativity away, to push the negativity away as it comes to you. 3 ways that I say are big, important tips and help you in the journey of not taking things personally. 1, you have to create emotional distance. You have to understand that when it comes to you and another person, things they may do, things they may say to you, like things that come from them towards you is not a reflection of you. You have to have that distance, create the distance for you to know that these are 2 separate entities. And like people love to say, what you eat don't make me shit. So you have to live life like that. Like whatever they're going through, it ain't about me. Like I'm not the main issue. Like you have something deeper going on. You get what I'm saying? And you have to notice it. You have to be able to see it. You have to be able to know when it's that person's like their vernacular or the things they're saying to you is taking that turn and it's becoming something more judgmental. You have to know when it's like, okay, let me pull back because you clearly are projecting things that you may not be happy with onto me. Has nothing to do with you. Another step that is big is to practice, I'd say detachment, but not only detachment, but discernment. Just to separate what's good and what's bad. Like recognize what emotions, what actions, what words, what feelings are good to be around and what promotes good energy. And if it's something that's not helping you, if it's something that's hindering you, know to be able to pull apart. Again, it goes back on the whole 2 separate entities. We get with people, we have people in our lives and we treat them as one. And some people, they make it to that bond where they can be as one with you. But at the end of the day, some people are just that. They're close friends or they're close family or whatever the case may be, but they have their own opinion. They have their own mindset. They're going through their own things. So don't get too caught up in their words and their opinions and their values. You have to stay grounded in your own, because at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself. Like they don't live with you. They don't live your life for you. So you have to live with yourself and the choices that you make. Third tip in not taking things personally is to reframe negative feedback. When we get criticism or we get negative feedback, we see it as, something to feel some type of way about, and something to gripe about later, when we really should take our time and see it as an opportunity for growth. It's someone seeing what you have, seeing what's in front of them, and giving their opinion. And if you don't like their opinion, or if you don't feel like if you don't feel like they're receiving you the way you want to be received, figure out what that issue is. See it as that when it comes to criticism or comments. See it as, oh, this is an opportunity to better myself. But never see it as something that causes you to go into a hole, feel some type of way, and be having these dark issues with yourself. No. Frame it more as a healthy way, in a healthy manner. For today's discussion, I wanted to take a moment and comment below, guys. Take a moment and reflect on a time where you had taken things personally, and talk about how it affected your emotions and your self-esteem. And how do you think your life would be if you were able to let go of those feelings or those opinions that you have of yourself? I would think a moment in my life where I had taken something personally, probably with my ex, and I think just his infidelity. And I had learned it throughout our relationship, but then I saw an interview Sweetie had did, and she was talking about how her previous in a previous relationship they had cheated on her, and how she had found out. And pretty much she had basically cut the whole relationship off, not only because the person was cheating, but it was the fact that they were cheating with any and everyone. And it was, like she said, it was a sickness. And in my previous relationship with my ex, I used to think it was me. I used to beat myself up about it, doubt myself, want to change things about myself. I wanted to do a lot of different things just off the fact that he was cheating on me consistently, constantly. And I just couldn't understand why. I couldn't understand what could I do to make this man see me, make this man love me. And it really had me questioning myself. It had me doubting myself. It had me thinking lower of myself and allowing things that I would never allow in a million years. It really had me change a lot of my outlook on myself. And I had to really grow back into loving myself from then, and realizing like that whatever he was trying to make me feel, or however he was trying to make me see myself, is not me. He used to think, oh, if I cheat on her and make her feel like this girl's better than her, she'll boss up and she'll be better. And it's like, no, you cheat on me and you do all this, you down me, it's just going to make me down myself. You feel what I'm saying? Because words are powerful. And I had to really step out of that, and I had to stop taking it so personally and stop seeing it like a personal attack on me. And just once I really dialed it back and realized the whole severity of his infidelity, I realized it's not me. Like, you have a sickness, you have a problem. Like Sweetie said in the interview, like, he's doing it with any women, a lot of women. It's like he had it programmed, like this is him. Like, it's a sickness. My ex would cheat on me with women that I couldn't even imagine. Like, women, I'm like, bro, how did you even think that was cool? Like, we're not even on the same spectrum. Like, he did a lot of things, and it was just like, it made me really question myself. Like, what am I not bringing to the table? But like I said, after realizing, looking at it it's you. You have a problem. You have a sickness. You can't commit. You can't treat people right. You just are selfish sometimes, and you show it in the craziest of ways. And I had to let that go. I had to move past it and move forward from it. It affected my self-esteem severely. It crushed me. But since letting go of those feelings, letting go of that person, letting go of what was installed in me, I've grown. I've become a better person. I've become more sure of myself. I understand who it is when I look at myself in the mirror. I'm no longer the woman, that he left weak, that couldn't look herself in the mirror in the face. I'm the woman that stands face held high, head up, chin up, look at myself in the mirror. And I feel great now. And I feel like the only thing I hate is that I didn't walk away sooner. I didn't step away sooner, because who knows where my growth mentally would be if I didn't take so much for so many years. But I'm definitely, to let go of those feelings, to let go of those emotions, to let go of that pain. I feel like it helped tremendously in my life. So yes, comment below, guys, on a time where you've taken things personally. And how did it affect your emotions or self-esteem? Alrighty, guys, and that is it for today's episode. Today we talked about our monthly theme, which is Genesis, and how to approach new beginnings in our lives, focusing on embracing change and growth. We also did dive into our second agreement from the 4 agreements, which is part of our Qween Leo book club for the month of December, where we went into not taking things personally and finding peace within ourselves. And guys, when you apply the second agreement to your life, you will create a space for new beginnings, which is the monthly theme. When you don't take things so personally all the time, you let go of the past and other people's judgment, and you begin to make room for a fresh start and a more empowered version of yourself. Remember, guys, every new beginning is an opportunity to create something better. And the second agreement helps us stay centered and free from the weight of others' negativity. As always, guys, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on today's episode. Definitely comment below. If you are new to the kingdom, subscribe at queenleo.shop. My podcast episodes post there, as well as on Spotify podcast. Subscribe to Spotify podcast as well. When you go on queenleo.shop, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there is a ticker banner with all of my social media platforms. You have Twitter, aka X, TikTok for the little bit of time we may or may not have it left, Instagram, Pinterest, and many, many more. Again, Kings and Queens, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Queen of Hearts podcast. You guys continue to have a wonderful December, and I will see you next time. Bye.